Thank you for listening to Comics for Fun and Profit. This is episode 449, and since you are hearing Drew, that must mean Kyle's on vacation. So joining me is our good friend Eric from Cowabunga Comics. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
How are you doing? And thanks for filling in.
My pleasure. I'm doing quite well. A little bit tired, but quite well. Things have been moving very fast. I'm sure a lot of folks either saw or heard from last week's episode that we are moving, and that has really kind of jump-started a lot of things for us. We've had a number of folks offering to help, which is great. Anyone who's in the area who wants to help, we will probably take you up on it. But along with the move means we've got more space, and we need to have fixtures to fill that space, so we've been going around and hunting down some additional fixtures at some of the store supply companies around us. We've been working on upping some inventory. And then, of course, the big reopening happens on Free Comic Book Day. So we've got all of those books planning to come in. Plus, we're going to obviously have some sales going on for the reopening. So we'll have sales. We've got a whole bunch of recent collections that have come in over the last 5 or 6 days that we will have processed and will be debuting at the grand opening. So there'll be tons of new books, tons of space, and it's going to be an awesome time. So that's been keeping myself and James quite busy with going back and forth between the new place and the current store and figuring out how we want to lay things out, where we want to kind of stage stuff while we're moving in, and then, of course, what we want to move and how we want to move it. So it's been exciting. And then, of course, James and I are headed to Chicago for C2E2 next week. We'll be there Wednesday and Thursday for the Diamond Retailer Summit, which my anticipation is we will probably do a recording Thursday night for everyone, just kind of give updates on what we've heard and talked about, specifically from Marvel and DC, because they tend to kind of do the big presentations of what they're rolling out for the summer. And then and then we'll be at the show Friday, so if anyone's coming to C2E2, stop in and say hi to us.
And then you're going to go to Heroes Con a month later, right?
Yes.
Well, or a month and a half, something like that.
My beautiful and awesome wife has decided that for my birthday this year, she wanted to get me tickets to go to Heroes Con because I've talked about wanting to go for years. So either she got sick of me talking or she just got sick of me, but either way, it finds me with tickets to Heroes Con. So I will be heading down. That's Father's Day weekend. I'll be going down there and taking in all 3 days of the show. So also, if anyone is down there and wants to catch up and say hi, just let me know, and we'll make sure that can happen.
Man, I've heard great things about their Artist Alley. So, I hope you do a post-con report on that. That'd be cool, because that's one I want to check out one of these days.
Oh, I definitely will. I'll make sure to do a wrap up, and James and I'll probably do a wrap up for C2E2 for the day that we're there as well. So yeah, absolutely.
How are you flying to Heroes Con?
Yeah. I'm flying to Heroes Con because if I was driving, you and Kyle would have no choice. You'd have to come with me, but Kyle will probably be on vacation, so it just didn't make sense. So yeah, I'm going to fly down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, if it's Father's Day weekend, I should be able to do whatever I want, right?
Right? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have to ask permission.
That's right.
Do what I want.
It's your weekend, damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, so that'll be fun.
That sounds cool. We got some cool listener feedback today, this week. Ricky Slider sends us an email and says, "I'm a new listener to the podcast, but love it so far. Keep up the good work, and thanks." Thank you, Ricky. We love new listeners and old listeners alike, so we appreciate when somebody takes the time to reach out to us.
You don't discriminate on age or tenure.
Exactly. Jason from Hawaii, frequent contributor to the podcast, says, "Dear Kyle and Drew, thanks for recommending Iron Man Hong Kong Heroes in episode 447. Lucas of Dragon's Lair said he sold out of this issue. I'll probably hold on to this issue for quite a while. The interior art looks great. I haven't quite read it yet." All right, cool. He also says, regarding the Deadpool trailer, "Thank you so much for going over the characters' first appearances in comics based on the trailer. That little segment was very informative and fun to listen to. May I ask if you guys can continue to do this for future comic book movie trailers?" That was cool. Kyle did research Watched the trailer like a gazillion times to find out who was who, and tried to pull the first appearances of the characters he saw in there to get a little extra step on getting those spec books before everybody else snaps them up, and share that with you guys. And yeah, that was kind of cool. What are the chances? How many more of those type of situations are all going to come together in a perfect storm where it has that gold hasn't been mined already? I don't know, but if it happens and Kyle can suss it out, man, we will definitely share it with you.
I say sign Kyle up for it. He's not here to say no.
Yeah, I commit him to that.
Yeah.
We will definitely do that. And thanks for the kind words, Jason. Michael Lamb says, now my dream will be realized, because last week he said my dream was going to be realized because of the Astro City movie or TV show or whatever was be an option. He says now his dream is being realized because Donny Cates is going to kill all the Inhumans. Glorious. Yes, we saw that we don't know if he's going to kill off a few. He's going to kill off one. He's going to kill every single Inhuman, and we'll be rid of Inhumans for, I don't know, 6 months to a year or something before they all come back to life. But yeah, we've been on to Marvel's attempt to supplant the mutants for Inhumans for a while, and we were sick of it. I've come around a little bit since then. Started reading Black Bolt and enjoying it, and a couple of other Inhumans books, but I still have that residual ire for Inhumans. So I'll be glad to see Donny Cates kill them all. I think it'll be fun. Do you have any inside dope on just what the deal's going to be with that? I've heard very little except for kind of just the high notes there that he's going to kill something.
Yeah, no, we haven't gotten anything. My assumption is that's going to be one of the big things that they talk about next week when we have the Marvel panel. Seems like an item that they would want to talk about. Last year when we were there, the thing that they talked about was the Secret Empire event. So my guess is we're going to talk about the Donny Cates components to killing off the Inhumans. And I don't know if they're planning any other major events. Obviously, they've got the Fresh Start going on, but that's been started. So I don't know how fresh it'll be next week. We'll see.
Yeah. Jay asks, hey, what are some of your recent favorite indie books? Well, I'll probably just tell you what I haven't just been reading indie books, although I do read quite a few. See, what have I been reading lately? The Wilds, #1, was really good. It was a lot of fun, and it was like I have a kind of a soft spot for these dystopian future type things, and I tend to read a lot of those. And it was about a person who's like a runner, and so it's there's mutants everywhere, and it's after some kind of cataclysmic event. But this runner, she goes between these settlements and gets medicine to one place and trades that for something else to another place. And it was a really good first issue. I have no idea where it's going to go, but that was tons of fun. I really liked the first issue of Beef, the Starkings book. So he puts down Elephant Men and then starts this new thing. That was kind of cool. A lot of stuff about how bad some of these big farms can be, and yeah, I really like Beef, so it was hard to read. But stuff about soda, stuff in soda, and then things like that. But it was also just kind of like a slice of life tale too. So I'm not sure where this one's going to go. It's first issue. It looked like it might have a little supernatural element at the end, which kind of bums me out. But it started well, and I'm kind of withhold any worry until after the next issue comes out. Another one I like is Dodge City #1. This is yet another Boombox book, which is like Boom's all ages imprint, and they've been doing these kind of anime sports books. They started with Slam. That might have been a mainline boom book, but it was about roller derby. And then they did Fence, about fencing. And that was definitely a boom box. And then this Dodge City is about dodgeball and these kids playing dodgeball. And I just find them really fun and light. And they've just got that anime kind of style to them. So that's been tons of fun. New Jazz Maynard came out. I know Eric's reading that.
Yep.
It's a couple issues in it at this point. It's been good. I like Strangers in Paradise 25. I don't really know much about the series. I never read any of the existing, but I just thought, wow, what a really cool style this is. And of course, I should know Terry Moore is awesome. So that's been good. Oblivion Song by Kirkman. I thought that was a really good debut issue. I really liked that a lot. And I hope it's I liked it a lot better than I liked the first Outcast. So that was really good. I'm trying to think if anything just came out this week that sticks out in my head. Dry County was really good. Can't remember. It's the same guy that did Spy Seal. Was it Tommaso? I think that did that. I didn't like Spy Seal, but I really liked Dry County, his new one, and it was really good. Another good debut. So there's tons of indie stuff that's really been cool and nice to see that there's always something new coming down the pike. How about you, Eric? Anything you've been reading recently that sticks out to you?
I've been reading some of the new stuff I've been reading. I'm a couple months behind. I did finish up the Chasing Hitler mini, which I think was from Red 5. Yeah, that's fun. I'm a World War II history guy, so that was kind of a fun...
Did it finish up? Did that feel like that was the last issue to you?
It didn't quite feel like it was the final issue. It felt like a break, and I'm hoping that they come out with another arc because I don't want to give too much away, but they've traveled to a destination and they are kind of continuing the hunt, which my assumption is that we're going to get another mini-series or maybe multiple mini-series. I don't know if anybody that's listening did watch, I think it might have wrapped up for the season, the Hunting Hitler show on History Channel. It's not exactly like that because obviously this is fictional, but it's very similar in some of the setup and some of the places that they've been. So it's kind of cool how those are kind of marrying together. So I read that. I've been working on finishing up some of the hard case crime books that I have. Like I have Minky Woodcock. I think I have one issue left of that to read. Trying to think what other one do I have. There's Quarry's War. I have one issue left on that to read. I finished up Ennis's Punisher Platoon, which was fantastic as always. What else?
That was great.
I feel like there's a couple other things. I decided that I was going to start watching Jessica Jones season 1 on Netflix. I'm woefully behind on watching all the Netflix stuff as well. But before I did that, I wanted to reread the Alias Omnibus, so I read that again.
Holy smokes, the Omnibus?
Yeah.
That's quite a few.
It was 23 issues,
23.
something like that. But so I read that. Yeah. I'm also kind of kicked off starting to read the Thunderbolts, the Kurt Busiek Thunderbolts run. So I'm about 6 issues into that. And then just to kind of cleanse my palate, I have the Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1 that I've kind of started paging through a little bit. So that's been the immediate stuff that I've been reading. I've got stack of stuff that I love that I'm a little behind on is Black Magic. I have a couple issues of that waiting for me. That is definitely, I'm going to say that's probably one of my top 3 books that's going on right now. Jazz Maynard
just came out. Yeah.
Yep. Number 11, yeah. I am caught up on Jazz Maynard. I absolutely thoroughly enjoy that book. I love the art. I love the pacing. For people that haven't read it, it's a little bit different than an American comic, not in its size or its layout or anything like that, but I feel like the story moves around a lot quicker, and more gets accomplished in each issue than a lot of standard comics that we get here. And I don't know if it's because of the way that it's been adapted from the French comic, or if it was, not a comic and something else. I'm not 100% sure. I think they were actually prose volume type novels, but I'm not sure. But the way that they move around, it doesn't let you get bored because there's so much action going on and you're always chasing after someone or something. So I've been really, really, really enjoying that. I did read Star Wars Adventures 8. I read Otis's backup story, his Jawa backup story.
Yeah,
which is
cool. I haven't got to that yet.
Yeah, it's fun. That's pure
awesome.
Otis art style, and the writing, it's great. I really enjoyed it. I did read the Fantasy of Grimgar and Ash 3-volume manga series, and I enjoyed that so much that I went out and bought the first 2 light novels that it's based on. So those are kind of waiting in the back burner. And
Man, you're going down the manga rabbit hole, man. Now you're reading novels based on manga. That's hardcore.
That's good stuff. I mean, I've got got 4 or 5 volumes of stuff next to me here. I've got a couple volumes of Black Butler that I have to read. Someone recommended
our mutual friend Perseus is always getting on me about not reading enough manga. He's a big manga proponent, and he reads a ton of it. And but yeah, I've got to carve out some time for some, because the stuff that is kind of manga light that I like over at Boom, I think is a good. I think if I like that, I would like some of this slice of life manga stuff that he reads.
Yeah, he reads more of the slice of life stuff. I definitely don't read the slice of life items. It's not because I avoid them. It's not what catches my eye. I read some more of the action based or thriller based ones, or more detective-y kind of things. Like the Fantasy of Grimgar and Ash was, to me, it was really cool. I'm not a huge video gamer, but like I played Final Fantasy 12, 13, something like that when I was in college, and I really enjoyed it. And the Fantasy of Grimgar and Ash is based on this premise that a kid essentially wakes up in a video game world. He doesn't know it's a video game world. It just, to him, he wakes up in a new world, and it's all about a journey where he joins a team, and they start off kind of at level 0, and they have to gain skills by killing these little, different animals in the game, orcs, all the way up to orcs and bigger things. They get a certain amount of money. The money they can then buy to upgrade their weapons, to upgrade their defenses, and as they get stronger and better, they can go into these higher level areas, and they do it all without you having to know or understand the premise of that kind of video game play. It was just really well done, and that's why I wanted to go back and read the light novels, because it's only 3 manga volumes, but I think there's 11 actual novels to it. So,
wow.
Yeah, I read the 3 of those in... I started the first one like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and I had the third one finished by the end of Friday. I mean, I went through them fast. So yeah.
That's cool. Now, do you read the current Jessica Jones? I know you just said you were doing the omnibus for Alias.
Yeah, I did not. I have not read the current one. I'm actually just going to wait for the second omnibus to come out, because I'm assuming they're going to do it again.
Yeah.
So I'll just get that and read it.
Yeah, they just did the final.
Yeah.
He did the final issue, and wonderful send-off for the character, and a really kind of a love letter to the character and the fans at the end from Brian Michael Bendis. It was a really great way to end the series. I don't know if he collects that back matter stuff in those or not, but you might want to grab that final issue if they don't, because it's worth the read.
Sure.
Yeah. Tons of fun stuff. Just kind of scratching the surface, hitting some of the high notes. We could talk all day about stuff we like reading, but yeah, we appreciate that, because sometimes I'd rather read them than spec on them, and so it's good to touch on some of the fun stuff that we're finding.
Absolutely.
I had a fun trip down in the nostalgia hole yesterday. I went to see an early release of Ready Player One, and it was, I don't know if you read the book, but it's chock full of '80s and '90s nostalgia, so
Yep.
a lot of it probably predates you, or you were very young. But for me, it was like right in my wheelhouse of stuff, that pop culture stuff that I grew up with and loved, and so it was really cool adaptation, and it's worth going to the theater to see, and in 3D. The 3D sequences were really awesome. So, kind of comic related, not really. It's more nerdy culture related, I guess. But a fun movie, and I highly recommend it to you guys out there. I also wanted to thank David Latham, who writes Stray Bullets. I joined his newsletter, and he sent, and because I just shared his newsletter on my Twitter feed, he sent me a nice Stray Bullets decal as a thank you. I thought that was kind of cool to reach out to fans of your work and give a little something like that. I thought that was pretty cool of him, and I again recommend Stray Bullets. It's a fun read if you could handle black and white and adult themes and violence, but it's good. Do you ever read Stray Bullets at all?
I have not. I mean, it's not something that I shy away from. Obviously, I like some of the grittier crime type stuff, so it's not.
Yeah.
It'd be in my wheelhouse. It's just I only have so much time, and I've already got myself surrounded literally right now by stacks of things that I haven't read. So I just try and pick what I can do, and then it's one of those things where I'm planning on trying to go back and get a collection of it at some point and read it.
Yeah. We heard that Fantastic Four has been announced. It's coming back.
Yeah.
And we wondered if it would ever happen, and it has. It's been gone a while. I can't remember exactly how long has it been. 3-4 years, something like that.
It's probably been about 3 years.
Yeah,
if I remember right.
We have a creative team that's going to be on it. It'll be Dan Slott and Sarah Pacelli. What's your first instinct tell you on that creative team and the return of Fantastic Four?
I think that having Dan Slott write Fantastic Four is going to be good for it. He's done a lot of great things with Spider-Man, and I'm hoping that he can infuse life back into the Fantastic Four franchise. I know that there's a lot of longtime readers of the FF that, come hell or high water, they're going to keep reading it and they enjoy it. But I think it needs... Fantastic Four, I think, has kind of waned in its, not necessarily relevancy, but in its excitement that it's generated in the industry, with titles like Spider-Man continuing to keep that excitement level up there. Obviously Deadpool in the Marvel Universe, and then now Donny Cates coming in and kind of jazzing things up with Doctor Strange and Thanos and stuff like that. It's going to need to compete. So I think that Slott is a good writer that can come in and bring some really strong creativity to it. I myself very much enjoy the very, very beginnings of Fantastic Four, but it gets to a point when you kind of get to issue 60 or a little thereafter where, to me, I kind of just fall off of it. A lot of great stuff happens in those early FF issues, a lot of first appearances, obviously Silver Surfer, Galactus, Black Panther. There's a lot of that part of it, and I hope that that's the kind of piece that Slott can bring. And that's one thing that we don't see a lot of anymore in the big two universes are, really strong new characters, and I don't know if part of that is because they have a hard time naming them, finding power sets that are different and separated from other beings. Obviously, Donnie has kind of come in with the Cosmic Ghost Rider and done a few things along those lines, and I hope he will continue to, but I think the industry as a whole is better off if there's a strong Fantastic Four book. It's been long enough, so let's hope that it comes back with a little bit of excitement.
Are you reading Marvel 2-in-1?
I have picked up a couple of issues and paged through them, but again, my pull list has more than enough for me on it, so I had to kind of draw a line. But what I've kind of paged through and looked at, it's not bad at all.
Oh no, it's good. it's been a slow moving pace. It's been well done, but the whole premise from the first issue on, and I think we're on 4 or 5 now, that the Thing and Johnny are going to go looking for the Sue and Reed and the kids, but the Thing assumes they're still dead, but he's gonna lie to Johnny to get him out of his doldrums.
Right.
But they've been kind of spinning their wheels, and they're finally now starting this journey. But they're going to have to accelerate this journey, I would think, of the story arc pretty quickly, because if Fantastic Four's coming back in July, that doesn't give them a handful of issues to reconnect. And I guess you can move pretty quickly in comics, so you can do as fast as you want. But I hope it lines up so that the reappearance happens simultaneously, or maybe even in 2 and 1 to lead into that. I think that would be fun, and I hope they do that and keep those books connected. And then I'd love to see it continue and kind of go back to where Thing teams up with other people. I know our friend Brawlinator kind of feels that same way. He remembers those days of Marvel 2 and 1 where Thing would he'd team up with anybody in the Marvel universe, and it'd be a fun kind of done in one story. And that'd be cool if they continued that and had both those books going simultaneously. That'd be a nice return to form, I think.
Right.
Now, before we hop into the FOC, because there's a lot of items on there, I want to go over real quick just the opportunity it is to have access to an FOC and how cool that is. A lot of times I would get wind with my previous comic shops that I was with. I would get wind of something, Walking Dead's putting out this kind of a stealth variant or something, and you've got a week to get your order in, because they're gonna shut the door on FOC. And at the time, I'm like, what is this FOC? I don't even understand it. But I'd ask the LCS that it was closest to me in proximity, and then I had a mail order company that you may have heard of that's made up of letters that I would reach out to via email, and they couldn't help me. They could never help me get any of this stuff. And now I've switched to Cowabunga, and if I get an email from Image that they're doing some kind of April Fool's variant, for instance, which is coming up, and they're going to slam the door on the FOC in a week, all I have to do is say, "Dear LCS up there in Wisconsin, is there any way you can get me one of these?" And the answer is not what, or what are you talking about, or no, or ignoring me. They actually help me out, Eric, and I appreciate that so much, because it makes me feel like I can play in with the big dogs. That these companies put this stuff out, and you just find out about it a week before it comes, before you can't order it anymore. And it seems like it's a peek behind the curtain of the publishing industry and how they do these things. And these are kind of, it feels like it's like retailer only exclusive stuff that you're letting me get a peek behind. And I assume you do that for your other customers as well, and open this up to them. And I just think that's incredibly unique and very cool. And not only is it stuff like this April Fool's variant that's coming out, but sometimes I screw up my order on previews, and I forget to order something, or I order one but forget about the B cover or something. And it's so nice to be able to it's not too late. FOC means it's not too late for me. I can still, with these 10 publishers or whatever, I can still pick these things up if they participate and get it added to my order, and it's really kind of cool. I feel it's unique because of my experiences. I've never had the opportunity to do that. If you guys that are listening have a store that hooks you up and helps place orders with FOC, that's awesome. And and I'm telling you, I think it's unique in the marketplace. And if you don't, I know a place that has it. And thank you, Eric, for opening my eyes to the wonderful world of FOC. It's been really cool to be able to kind of see how these things happen, and these orders can be added to or even reduced at the last minute, right? You can even reduce your order sometimes.
Yeah,
which is cool.
No, you're welcome. I mean, it's part of the business, and for us, it's not something to be hidden. Because honestly, every book sold is a book that we make a profit on. Depending on if it's in the store or through the mail order service, there's a profit to be made. So it helps us. It helps our customers, get what they want. And that's really ultimately what the whole point of this hobby is, enjoy what you're doing. I had a great phone discussion with, I think, a listener of your show and our show, Tim, who was kind of explaining how he bounces around to a couple of different LCSs based on where he's traveling and what he's doing, and he just kind of asked how we do things. And so I was explaining it, and I told him, ultimately what it comes down to is whether you're in the store or you're someone that we're sending packages to and we haven't yet had the chance to meet you. And I say haven't yet because I assume at some point, either we'll cross paths in Wisconsin or James and I will be out doing something else. And our intention is to meet everybody. But whether we've met you or not yet, we want everyone in the store or mail order, whoever it is, to have the exact same experience. Now, obviously, in the store, we can't, we can do things that we can't just through talking on the phone. But at the end of the day, no one really should get any preferential treatment because it's the experience, the opportunity to either collect or read what you're looking for that we want to promote and that we want to be a part of. And there's a lot of, we've talked in the past, I don't know on this show, but definitely with James and I, that the retailer ends up taking a lot of the risk in this industry because we're putting orders in on good faith 2 months ahead. We're putting things in stores that we know we can't return. Except for a few things here and there at discretion of the publishers. So we take on a lot of risk. And so it is in our best interest to make sure that our customers have what they want. And if there's something that, is on FOC and we get people that are like, oh man, I didn't realize I really want to get that, we would much rather be able to up that order than not. A great case is actually one that I think is coming out this week that we're going to talk about in the the final section where we look at our spec picks, but that's Batman 44. Originally, the variant edition was kind of a ratioed one. When it came time for initial orders, it was a ratio belief, and in between initial and final orders, DC realized that there was much more demand for the idea of getting a set of these covers than the ratio, that they decided to go ahead and unlock it. Well, they told us the week of FOC, and we were able to make adjustments to subscribers accordingly. So, it's really just there to help everybody else get what they want and be able to take a look at it. Like you said, you can take things off too, which again, that helps us reduce risk depending on what's going on. And I'm glad that you appreciate it. It's definitely something that as we work farther towards getting a full website presence for the ordering for the mail order comics built out, we want to have an FOC portal on there to help people add things to the list if they want. But yeah, and it's one of those things too, where if you are a subscriber to our service or if you're interested in it, if you're interested in that FOC list, let me know and we can work on getting that for you. Or if you happen to hear what's going on and you want to add a book, I get emails once or twice a week, folks saying, hey, I heard about this book and I'd like to add it. Is that possible? You know what? Even if it's past FOC or it's a company that's not on FOC, the worst thing I can do is go into Diamond, put in an order for the book, hit submit, and watch my email 30 seconds later to see whether it says, quantity not available or item will be shipping from local stock. And I can tell you that easily, within probably 5 minutes, yep, I was able to get it, or no, I can't get it here, but I've got another source that I can try and get it from. So we're going to do what we can for everybody, whether they're in-store or mail order. That's the idea of the business. And ultimately, James and I, our reputation is kind of on the line. It's our names that are attached to it. We're the ones that are doing it, and we're probably doing more than most LCSs by putting out a podcast, putting ourselves out there, and being more active in the community as a whole. So it's one of those things where we take pride in it, but with that comes the responsibility of maintaining a certain level of service to everybody.
With great pride comes great responsibility. I like that. Yeah.
With great pride comes great customer service. I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. We'll work. We'll noodle on it. We'll
sure.
Figure that out. So let's pull up the FOC and see what kind
cool.
of gold we got in here this time.
And let's pray that Diamond doesn't take a crap on us.
Well, I have the spreadsheet, so I've got a backup just in case.
Awesome.
I was looking at the Dark Horse. I don't even. I was thinking that Harrow County was ending, but it must not be ending with 30. So I guess I was wrong about that. So that was probably a few episodes ago where I said it was ending. This is the final arc.
Right.
So we're still in the final arc. So I guess it's probably ending around 36, 35, 36, something like that. But it is coming to an end. This would have been a good one. Now we got another Josh Middleton Batgirl variant, and I was hoping I'd get a peek at the cover, but there is no cover image on that one, so I'm probably going to lean no on that. One thing that was really cool that you brought to my attention was this Suicide Squad B cover,
mm-hmm.
the Matina. That's the first time I had seen that image. So that's probably just an FOC released image there.
Yep, we just got it.
Suicide Squad 40. It's a Francesco Mattina cover, and it is glorious. And I had to have one of these, and I don't even read this book, but what a cool Mattina cover that is. So
mm-hmm.
that's a no brainer. You gotta get that one. I was looking at some of the other ones were pretty neat. There's a nice Hitch cover for, I think that's Trinity, I think.
Yep. I'm just digging through really quick on our internal DC. That's Wonder Woman 45. I think I might have the Middleton cover. Let me just check really quick. I have the A cover, which is a Dan Mora cover.
Also good.
Oh, I guess I don't have that B cover. Sorry, I was hoping I did.
Now, I'm just going to jump around a little bit. There's a image book, a couple of image books that jumped out at me, and one is the Redneck 12 cover B April Fool's variant.
Mm-hmm.
And the cover to this is Cosmic Redneck. So he's taken his Cosmic Ghost Rider that he's introduced in Thanos and doing a play with the Cosmic Redneck. I think this is going to be super hot, and is one that I think will be a lot of fun. And it just got announced, and the FOC closes on the 2nd, so by definition, there could not be that many of these out there,
right?
In my estimation. So this is going to be a fun one to have in your collection, and I got a feeling it's going to be eminently flippable as well, if you so choose.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to say there's probably going to be the print run on it's going to be somewhere around 1,000.
Yeah,
because the Redneck itself is not a super highly purchased book. I mean, I think it did pretty good in trade compared to some of its other peers in the Image stable. But yeah, I agree. I think it's a good pick.
And then we've got a Virgin cover for Ice Cream Man 4, which I don't remember being solicited during the original cycle. It may have, and it may have just slipped through the covers. or slipped through the cracks for me.
No, it wasn't.
But
So you can tell when you look at the item code. See, it's Feb 18, and then it has the third number is an 8.
yes.
That means it was the item was released after the order form was created.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
Yep, so that's part of a designation for Previews Plus. So, like your the first 2 or 3 of those Walking Dead Sienkiewicz B covers, those had the 8, that Series 8 code as well, because they came out after the order form and Previews was created.
So so you can, if you look for an 8 in the third number sequence, then you know that it wasn't solicited previews. Oh, that's fantastic. That's good to know. Well, anyway, this Virgin cover of Ice Cream Man is cool. I'm getting it. I gotta have one of those. Ice Cream Man has been a really pleasant surprise, and well worth. Just a pleasant surprise. It's cool to when these things come out and you didn't know they were coming.
Agreed.
Now I'm just looking for 8s.
Well, the next one I know is Doctor Strange Damnation has one. The Tarnation variant.
Is that tiered?
Nope, it's an order all you want. It's even got a
why does it
certain
have a
Moon Knight
December
on it.
order code? Is that a mistake?
I think it's a mistake. Either that or it was something that they came up with. I don't know, but there's a Moon Knight in the bottom right corner of that cover.
Yeah. Have you been reading? You probably haven't been reading this. Yeah, Moon Knight's only on the team because he's already crazy and can't be made any more crazy by what they're doing. So, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's all right. I guess you're not wrong.
You'll be very happy, Drew. I did pick up the first trade of the Lemire Moon Knight run, and I enjoyed it so much that I decided to hold off, and I just placed my order yesterday for the hardcover of the entire Lemire Moon Knight run.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so that was him and Smallwood, right? Mostly,
Right.
On that. Yeah, that was fun.
The other stuff that have those Series 8 codes are the second printings, so Thanos 17 second print, the Jeff Shaw cover. That's one, and I think there was an X-Men. Yeah, X-Men Red 2 went back to a second print as well.
Yeah, I was looking at that Thanos second printing, mulling it over, and I couldn't tell by the cover if it was the same or not. I wasn't sure. Same cover anyway. I think it might be.
Well, I have one way to quickly find out. I see so many covers that I honestly couldn't tell you what's.
They blend together.
I can tell you key issues what covers are and how they look different, but all right, Thanos 17. Nope, that's a different cover. The A cover was the Infinity Stones on the hand, and then the B cover was, I think, the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So, yep, that's a different cover. Different cover
I'm
image.
gonna get that. I'll drop this into my request.
Okay.
Because I'll have to get that then. Yeah, Thanos has been a lot of fun to read and a lot of fun to sell. Because it's been well sought after stuff.
What else we got here? Got a Thanos annual starring the Cosmic Ghost Rider, of course. And we do have got some Venom on here. Otherwise, I'm going to jump out of Marvel and go on and see what else we got.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There's that Wilds I was telling you about.
Yep.
tons of fun. I'm gonna have to add that second issue because I was just sampling the first one, but I want to have to add that second issue because it was really, really good.
Now's the time.
And it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. So I was like, dang it, that was so good. I want to read another one.
Yeah, Rick and Morty. This cover is one that I think a lot of people are getting excited about. That's going to get hot. It's the Pickle Rick, and it's the X-Men. Oh, what cover is this one?
Is this A or B we're looking at?
This is the B, the Vasquez variant.
Oh, Pickle.
But it's a cover where Wolverine is in the spotlight, and then it's got the wanted posters behind it, and this is Pickle Rick standing there. So this is one that I think is going to be a slightly sought after cover.
Is that independently orderable, or is that?
It is. It's open to order. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna have to get that one too. Good call. Shadow Man do well for you up there? The Valiant book.
I think we had about a dozen people try it out. So for a Valiant book for us, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Exo Manowar. Yeah. So I think that's probably it off of the list. As far as the big stuff goes. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good stuff in this week's list.
Yeah, did you talk about the Justice League? I feel like I have. There's a cool cover for the Justice League 29.
No, I missed that.
I think that might be one where I have the cover and it's not yet on Diamond. Let me just really quick page through.
Is this Justice League B cover we're talking?
I think it's the B cover.
Justice League of America.
Yep, here it is. I'm going to put it in the old Skypes machines for you.
That's also a Matina.
Yeah. It's party. Alright, snag a picture. Unfortunately, those listening can't see the picture, but by Drew's reaction, you'll be able to determine what you want to do.
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, that's nice. Is it the same Matina? Is there more than one Matina? Is he like brother or something? Is the same guy doing this one too?
Francesco.
Wow. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one too.
So it's like Batman in the foreground. We've got these like J.J. Abrams lens flares all over the place, and we've got really nice painted style. It's really good. Who are all these characters? Do you know I don't know the JLA characters at all.
I don't know all the ones that they have on here. And of course, I've moved on because I'm actually looking at another picture that I wanted to show you.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
all right.
I like that.
I'm going to show you.
I'll sell that Matina with my Suicide Squad Matina.
So this was the B cover for 28. And I think there's a theme going on with these.
Are these going to be connecting?
No, they're not connecting, but I think you can see that there is a theme of a main character in the foreground with secondary characters in the background. So the first one was Superman, the second one is Batman, which makes you wonder if the next one's going to be Wonder Woman imposed on the cover.
This is Superman with is that like an Ultron head or something?
The bloody skull.
Wow, that's interesting.
So
yeah, I like that one too.
Anyways, I wanted to show you that because I knew that the JLA 29 I thought was a pretty rad cover.
Yeah, that is pretty sweet.
So
good stuff.
Yeah.
So this FOC list is finalized for you guys. You get it like a month in advance, and then it kind of goes through some machinations, and then you get it like that Friday before cutoff, right? Where it's like, this is the final FOC.
Yeah,
but
so
you're still getting cover images released through the individual publishers.
Right. So the way that it works is we do get 4 weeks out of the books that are in FOC. The list is not finalized until noon on the Friday before it's due. So FOC's always due Monday night. So we get it the Friday before that. So today at noon, the list was finalized for these books that need to have their final order adjustments made by Monday night. The covers, at one point there was a rule that Diamond had that you couldn't solicit a book if it didn't have a cover, or you couldn't have a book that didn't have a cover on final order. But that has clearly adjusted. So what specifically DC does is they will, in our Facebook, our retailer Facebook group that they maintain, when they get all these covers in leading up to FOC, they send them to Diamond, but Diamond can't always get everything processed in time, so the covers may not make it up as quickly as some people are doing their FOCs. So they'll go into the Facebook page, which is where I was pulling those other covers from, and they'll put them all up there and just let us know, like, hey, these are FOCing on April, books that are going to be out April 11th or something like that. And they'll put all of the covers up there that they have, and they'll say, we're still missing these two. And so it helps us as retailers go in, and we can kind of see, and we can, again, share with folks that are interested in it, and they can make a decision, do they want it or not. So, yeah, so we kind of, I will say it does take a little bit more work because you're grabbing from multiple places, but ultimately the end product is a lot better because people get what they want.
Yeah, it's just it baffles me that some of these books are 3 and 4 weeks out, and they don't have a cover image, but they've got to be at the printers.
Yeah, the weird thing is Marvel sometimes. I don't know if it is just a problem that they don't have enough hands or what, but it's one of those things where their covers, like there's books that have been out for a year and their cover's still not up in Diamond. So I don't know what that's all about.
Communicating well there, I guess. That's interesting. Yeah, because I would think this stuff would have to be. They print millions of copies of comics every month. You would think there's like just a constant. They have to be at least a few weeks out for them to get these things printed.
You would think.
And shipped, at least, I would think. So yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing. What a churn. Anything else in FOC you want to talk about?
Nope, I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, this was a good list. An expensive list for me, but a good list. Let's slide over to Diamond Site, which is operating.
Woohoo!
And we'll look at new releases for Wednesday, April 4th. And, of course, go to the table view and start, where we're starting with now. We're starting with Boom because they've been elevated to Premier Publisher. So, alphabetically, they come first. And I look down through here. Mech Cadet U is still doing well. People seem to gravitate to it. I feel like I kind of missed out on it. It didn't connect with me, and I don't know if I gave it enough of a chance beyond that first issue. You like big mech stuff, right? Is this in your wheelhouse?
No, this is not in my wheelhouse. I'm not a mech person. I grew up in the era of Transformers, but it was not one of the things that I watched. I despised the mech bat in Snyder's Batman run, so
okay.
I'm definitely not a mech person.
Yeah, I forgot about mech bat. I blocked that out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, not much else this week from Boom for me.
No, Boom. Pretty small list actually from Boom.
Pretty small.
They got a Rugrats special,
a Dark Horse size.
Yeah,
list.
Yeah, a new Dark Horse. But the March previews, man, Dark Horse has a couple things in there. They got a new Ennis series coming out. I think they might be starting to catch a little bit of a stride again. So,
I hope so.
Speaking of, should we go to Dark Horse?
Hey, nice transition.
I didn't plan that.
Yeah. Xerxes, Fall of the House of Darius, #1, is a Frank Miller written book with a cover by Frank Miller, and I'm assuming interior art by Frank Miller, but it doesn't say that on my end. But Frank Miller returns to the world of 300 with his sprawling historical epic. Persian king Xerxes sets out to conquer the world to avenge his father, Darius' defeat, and create an empire unlike anything the world has ever seen, until the hardy Greeks produce a god king of their own, Alexander the Great. Frank Miller writes and draws this long-awaited companion to his masterpiece, 300. Well, they say you can't go home again. He's gone back to the Dark Horse well a few times to mixed reviews on some of them, and some of them have been really well received. I loved Dark Knight Returns, so he always will have a special place in my heart as far as a comic creator. I never read 300 though, so I don't know if this is something I would even like. Did you read the original 300?
Yep, I read parts of. I read the first about 2/3 of it, and then I just got distracted and pulled on and doing other stuff. And I do mean to go back and finish reading it. And obviously the film. Yeah, the movie. We can thank the movie 300 for Zack Snyder running the DCU. Ugh. But yeah, no, this actually, we've had a pretty decent amount of pre-orders for this book in the shop. So that's a good sign. So the interesting thing too is when it was initially solicited, it was initially $5.99. It's been dropped to $4.99, but the page count is still 40 pages. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah, I remember when the pre-order cycle was going on. It was like, it was a $6 book. I don't know. So yeah, I'm glad they dropped it. Mm-hmm. But they dropped it after the pre-order cycle.
Yeah.
So yeah, the damage had kind of been done, at least from a sticker shock point of view. Anything else in Dark Horse that catches your eye?
No, I don't think there's anything that really caught my eye.
I do like J.G. Jones' art style, and he's doing the second issue B cover for Dr. Star and Kingdom Lost, which is another Black Hammer spinoff of Jeff Lemire's, and it's a pretty cover. J.G. Jones is quite talented.
He is. He's up there in my books with Alex Ross. They both have a very similar painted style.
Yeah,
different than Matina. Matina has a darker, kind of cleaner style, whereas Ross and Jones tend to have a little bit brighter, tends to have a little more texture to it.
Yeah. As we slide down into DC, if Kyle was here, he would tell you this is the penultimate Astro City, and second to last. It's part of the three-parter. It's kind of sending this off. This title will end, and then they'll start doing. Kurt Busiek will start doing just sporadic graphic novel collections of Astro City Tales. So it'll be a little different. It won't be quite the same. I like the single issue format myself because they're so satisfying. But this is there's not many of these left, so please snap them up. And this is this is the second part. This feels like it's been delayed a little bit. I think it's been a while since 50 came out. So it's that support group. Yeah,
yep.
Because you sent me the 1/2 issue.
Yep.
That was the prequel to this, and that one about made me cry.
The Nearness of You. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What an amazing issue.
Yeah. Yeah. So then 50 continued that story. 25 years later or something like that.
Right.
Seamlessly.
Yep.
And really picked up where he left off. So yeah, this will be great. I can't wait to read this.
Yeah. If anyone's looking to try and get into Astro City, I would honestly say just grab that half issue. You can usually find it for $1 or $2. They did a reprint of it and that's usually very cheap to get. It really is kind of clues you into the style that the book is written in, and yeah, that half issue is just, it really makes you hurt for Michael, because it exposes what happens in these superhero universes when there's a massive event and people are essentially they're retconned, there's changes, and they went from existing to not existing. And kind of the premise behind the book, and the thing that I think really, for me personally, just kind of gets to me is this is a man who was with a woman, and he wakes up and the woman is not there, and so he goes through a series of time feeling like someone or something should be there, but not being able to figure out where she is or who she is, and he slowly puts it together. And it's a short issue. It's literally a half issue, but my God, there could be probably a 300-page novel written about it. It's so good.
It is so good. Yeah. And just right below this, we're getting into the wedding phase of Batman. The Bat-Cat reunion is coming up, and we've got a pair of covers, which you really need the pair.
You do.
We've got Bruce Wayne looking in the mirror. He's in his suit, looking in the mirror, seeing Batman, and we have Selena Kyle looking in the mirror, seeing Catwoman, and she's in her wedding dress. The amazing Joelle Jones is doing the cover, and it's a really cool 1-2 A and B cover that I think are going to be I'm going to put them in top loaders, and they're going on my shelf. I think they're going to look cool up there, side by side, and I think this is a must-have. You got to have these, especially because it looks like this wedding's going to happen. If I was a betting man, I wouldn't have thought so, but I think the B cover is going to be the tougher one to get. It's going to be the tougher get because there are still stores out there that don't get B covers for whatever reason.
The only thing I wish was different was I wish that on the Batman cover, I wish we didn't have the Rebirth Batman with the yellow outline on his bat. I don't know why, but my eye just keeps going to that, and I just keep cringing. But the Joelle Jones Catwoman B cover is
beautiful. Beautiful
Joelle Jones, shadowy yet bright windows in the mirror.
Yes.
It's gorgeous. Very well done.
So you're going to grab one of these, I assume, to take to C2E2. Just because you'll be seeing Joelle there.
Quite probably.
Yes. That's pretty nice.
Drew, would you like me to take yours to C2E2?
Oh, I think, I think Jason had promised that he was going to get me a Joelle Jones signature at the Hawaii Con.
Oh.
With that. So I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'll let my Hawaiian brother hook me up.
Good call.
And that'll be one less thing you have to deal with because you'll be busy. Let's see. Oh, we've got Batman White Knight.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost over. This is issue 7 of 8. And
that 8 cover is awesome.
Isn't it? Isn't that great? It's just really good.
It has. It's been great.
Such another really pleasant surprise.
Next one I had on my list was Harley Quinn 41. Obviously, you've got the Frank Cho B cover, but this one, in the little solicitation blurb, the last line says, "Someone's going to get killed here, and it ain't Harley." So she's been kind of palling around with Poison Ivy, and Penguin's been involved, and so I don't know what that means. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be the little short guy, or his little her pet.
Yeah.
What's her pet's name? I can't remember.
Oh, the little wiener dog.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't read one for a while.
What else we got going down here?
Jetsons is ending. I enjoyed this little 6-issue thing. I'll be curious how it ends. Wasn't as good as Flintstones, but it was still kind of fun.
Justice League B cover is J.G. Jones.
Yeah, that's really nice. Really nice. I'm not sure what's going on and the image of that with that. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, the cat's cradle.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman tied up. And we got, I don't know if these, I will have to admit, I could be an issue behind, but new writers on Nightwing, Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing.
These are the, oh man, that's the new writers?
At least for this issue, so hopefully Kyle his Nightwing can get off the schneid.
Oh man, I hope so, but I don't. Those aren't the creators I was hoping that would be on this book.
Well, you can't get everything you want.
No, I can't. No, I can't even get Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason to stay on Superman. They have to go away.
No, but you can get them on Superman 44.
Yeah, can get them on this, and but you have to get through the Bizarro speak that's been throughout this arc.
That's right.
And I can only stomach so much of that. Bizarro talk. It's really hard to get through. So I'll be glad when that part's over. Anyway, okay. I did not realize that Nightwing's had changed already. Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing. Not a superstar creative team. Okay. Some good offerings.
Mm-hmm.
As we slide down to Dynamite, we've got this Green Hornet with the gender switch. Did that do anything in your store? Did anybody get excited about there being a female Green Hornet?
No.
No.
No. Yeah, not much in Dynamite. We have a decent amount of subscribers for Deja Thoris. So that's coming out. Red Sonja, we've got a couple.
Yeah, that's good. The Swashbuckler Saga continues, #1. Cover A by Butch Guice.
I think this was a Bill Mantlo creation.
This is like a third or fourth volume of this, I'm imagining then.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll go slide down to IDW then. We've got Demigod #1, Ron Mars and Andy Smith. Cover doesn't do much for me.
Oh, ditto.
It looks like a 90s image book.
The B cover especially.
It's even worse.
Yeah. I wouldn't say worse as in bad. It's just it's even more overt to me.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
What we got here? The big one though here in IDW is we got Sonic #1.
Yeah.
The Return of the Hedgehog.
300 or so issues. They had to renumber it.
Yeah, and switch publishers. But hey,
who was the original publisher?
Was it Archie?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it was Archie. Oh man, I loved Sonic as a kid.
The game?
Both the game and I used to get the little like pocket novels through our what was that goofy the book orders thing that you would take home every other week, it felt like.
Oh yeah, Scholastic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good times. Let's see, as we slide into Image, we've got Analog, that Jerry Duggan book about internet being
kind of the same premise
away.
as the Private Eye, the Cloudburst.
Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of stayed away from this one, but it does look nice. You've got Declan Shalvey and Jordi Belair doing covers for it, so that's usually a good sign. second printing of Gideon Falls, so that did well and sold through.
Mm-hmm.
Glad to see that.
Yeah, Kyle's I Hate Fairyland.
Yeah.
The one that Image has really, well, I don't know if it was Image or if they just paid for it, but this Isola, this was something that we got a lot of promotional stuff for, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. Isola #1. But it's basically the captain of the royal guard has fled the capital city with the Queen of Mars, suffering under the effects of an evil spell. Captain Rook's only hope of returning Queen Olwyn to her throne and saving the kingdom from impending war lies on an island half a world away, a place known in myth as Isola, Land of the Dead. I'm in. Sounds fun.
Yeah. I didn't like the font.
You didn't like the font? Oh.
I did not like the font on the cover, so I stood away. I occasionally do that. Occasionally fonts rub me the wrong way. I know it's weird.
It is weird, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. And we got Sex Criminals 23 back, 5-finger discount, and a Marguerite Sauvage XXX variant. Snot Girl finally finishes its arc. It feels like it's been delayed, but the order code says otherwise, but I don't know. We got 3 Matina covers for Spawn.
So this was the same thing as Spawn 283, where it was previously solicited as a different artist for the covers. They weren't able to get it done, so Matina, on top of all the other covers he's doing, apparently was able to jump in and do Spawn covers. So you've got a regular, a black and white, and then a virgin. All of these were open to order, but I don't know how many retailers paid attention to it. So it's one of those ones where there could be a glut of them, or it could be pretty thin.
Yeah, and it's a Violator return, which has been since like issue 2 or 3, I think, of Spawn when he first made an appearance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Been a long time. Yeah, that'd be a cool set, and it would have been very affordable. $2.99 book still.
Yep.
Even Walking Dead's not $2.99 anymore, so it's cool that they're towing the line. Of course, Walking Dead with a Sienkiewicz cover.
If you notice the order code, it has that 8. So I think this was the last of the non-preview solicited ones.
Nice. And then where the spec money's been is in Marvel lately, residing with Amazing Spider-Man 798.
Here it is.
The one, right?
Yep, this is the one.
We've got ourselves a Red Goblin here. And the Ramos going to be the tough one to get?
No, I think there's a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50. 2 different Delato covers. Those are going to be the tough ones to get.
Oh, okay, yeah. Kind of a no-brainer there.
Yep.
Sure.
You got an Avengers sighting. Those have usually done pretty good, sold out. This one's 687 or part 13 of the No Surrender hoo-ha.
Yeah, I haven't read that. I tried, but yeah, I've heard great things. People have loved it, and there have been a lot of speckable things happening in there.
And this was the one that had, I don't know if it was issue 10 or 11, or one of them had the Hawkeye, the random insertion of the Hawkeye variant.
Yeah. We're thinking they'll do that again.
I don't know. I keep looking every time we get them in, kind of wondering, but nothing yet.
Yeah. And we've got on all new Wolverine 33, they're doing an old woman Laura. We'll see how that goes, but kind of a companion for Old Man Logan, and we'll see if that character sticks, or is just a one shot deal. How are you? I mean, I'm kind of interested in seeing the Infinity movie, But I really don't have a lot of interest in all these Infinity offshoot comics.
The Infinity Countdown Prime and
Yeah. How's your store? What's the temperature up there on that?
we're adding to what the pre-orders are. We're getting. I think we got the first one that had the Granoff Captain Marvel cover. We ended up getting 20 of that, and I think we are down to 4.
Yeah.
So those sold really well off the shelf. It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes it's the covers, sometimes it's the actual creation, and I think in this case it's being driven by covers.
Final issue of Black Bolt. That was a fun series. There is that 5th issue of Marvel 2-in-1, and it looks like they are adventuring in space, looking for the rest of the Fantastic Four. I'm hoping there's some clues, because you got to get moving, guys. This is the second to last Brian Michael Bendis, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. He's ending with 240, and this is 239, so almost done with that one. And I think that and that might be his last book.
I think that was his last. I know.
Or is Iron Man
Invincible
600 is going to be his last one too. I'm not sure when that one's coming out.
You know what? I think that one we just got solicited for in the March previews. So
yeah, so that'll be his final.
Yeah.
So he'll be wrapped up with everything else.
Venomize number 1, I believe, has a 1 in 2. I want to say 1 in 25. That is going to be a very hot book. I believe that's a Matina. Let me try and find it really quick.
The regular ones look pretty good.
Oh, sorry, it's a Delato.
He's also good.
Yeah. There's a 1 in 50 Delato that is, I think, going to be the hottest of them. And then there's also a 1 in 25 Delato that's a different cover. So here is the 1 in 50 and the 1 in 25.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
1 in 25 is pretty cool as well. Those are your big money books. Those are the ones that are going to command a higher dollar, but also resell at a higher dollar.
Yeah, those are nice. I think that's it for Marvel. For me.
Yeah, just as a quick heads up, the 1 in 25 Delato is already selling for $50, and the 1 in 50 is selling between 80 and 115. So,
pre-sold.
Some pre-sold, yep, and then some already up for sale.
Nice.
So, back half.
What's left of it?
Go hacking and a slashing. Well, the first one that I've got of any note for me is in the H's. Do you have anything before that?
No, go ahead.
All right, Helm number 1. This one's coming out of Action Lab. Seemed like a fun story. Pursued by the merciless legion, the mysterious witch Luna Lemire, wanted for a laundry list of crimes against the Commonwealth, evades capture in an effort to intercept a train carrying Eldrick Spellsong Jr., a magic maker she believes to be the key to unlocking an age-old prophecy. Not necessarily a hot spec book, but could be a fun read. It's first issue, and I kind of get some vibes of Aladdin or Prince of Persia, just in the way the art is, and then just kind of evading capture, being chased along rooftops and stuff. So
Yeah.
It looked kind of fun.
I'm excited for this Alterna Comics Tinseltown #1.
Okay.
Written by David Lucarelli with art by Henry Ponciana. And it's a crime book set in 1915 Hollywood with the first female police officers. And it feels like a hard case crime type of style.
Mm-hmm.
And so for $1.50, definitely worth a flyer for me.
I'm going to jump back up to the eyes. The Iron Maiden Legacy of the Beast #4. These tend to sell out pretty good. And because there is a very strong and dedicated Iron Maiden following, these have a life outside of just comic stores.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys do well with those.
I'm sure do.
Metal. Welcome to Paradise #1 from Scout Comics. Written by A.C. Medina with art by Morgan Kendrick Sawyer. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly set in an underground bunker the size of California. And this is one that we had as one of our previous spec picks a few months ago. And it has that art style has a Ryan Murphy-esque look to it with the angular vehicles and the way the people are drawn.
Mm-hmm.
I was drawn to that. Looks pretty good. I saw a third issue of Jazz Maynard's out
Yep.
this week. That's cool.
Aspen has a new book called Portal Bound. Sounds like it could be kind of interesting. Obviously not Michael Turner, so we've got Mark Roslin and Gabe Carrasco on the writing and Alex Arizmendi on the art. The A cover's pretty cool. Reflective faces and a very prismatic and fun-looking cover. 17-year-old high school student team up with a brilliant scientist, the quick-witted Brett to save both worlds. So some multi-world stuff could be kind of fun.
Anything else back there?
Not really a ton of other stuff back here.
I will give you the honors of picking the Can't Miss spec for the week. Think I know what it is, but I'm going to let you go ahead and take it.
Well, if you have a shop that doesn't pay attention to all their variants that they're getting, if you can score one of those Delados for ASM, that's where you're going to be. But if we're just going to take something right off the regular rack and go with it, we got like a couple of good options here. I think I'm, obviously ASM's, that's too easy of a pick, so I'll say...
You're not going to take it.
No, I'll let you take that one. I'm going to say you're going to want... Ooh, I have to look for one thing really quick.
Okay. Now, see, the thing with ASM, we've already heard just 250,000 copies of that sold.
It doesn't matter.
You still think it's going to be super hot?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have people calling us asking if we can put some aside for them already.
Multiples?
Yes.
They're asking, could you please put a stack of 10 aside for me? That's terrible.
I'm going to say let's go with the Batman 44B cover.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great one. I just think that's going to be an iconic cover, especially if this marriage holds up and sticks around for a while. If they do let Tom King write this till issue 100 like he wants to, we'll have another. That'll be a really nice. I think it's going to be one of those that stands the test of time. At least I'm hoping. So then I will take the easy the road less traveled and the low hanging fruit or whatever, and I'll take ASM. I'll take the Red Goblin appearance, man. You got to have it. So pick it up. Be one of 250,000 people that pick this up.
And I would say just as contingency plans, I think keep an eye out for Isola #1 and for the Spawn Matina covers. I would say probably stick to the A or the Virgin. For whatever reason, the black and whites don't seem to do quite as good.
Yeah, I know. I would have thought that. I wouldn't have thought that, but I've been wrong before. Now, before we get out of here, we talked about FOC and a lot of cool stuff. We've talked about pre-orders and LCSs and customer service, and so we've got listeners who have varying degrees of quality LCS in their neighborhood, and some of them have good LCS, and we wouldn't want you to stop going there. But if you're looking for an LCS and Cowabunga appeals to you, anything we've talked about here today, how can they go about getting started with you?
Yeah, so the easiest way is probably just to shoot an email either to orders at Cowabunga Comics, that's Cowabunga spelled with a K, .com, or Eric, ERIC, at cowabungacomics.com. Either way, all roads point to me for that, and I'll be working with you. You can also go onto our Facebook page, facebook.com/Incredicow. We're pretty active on there, so if you want to just shoot us a message, we've had some people do that. That's the probably the two easiest ways. You can go online to our website, cowabungacomics.com, and you can get other contact info if you want and other emails. That's fine. But probably the quickest and easiest are going to be orders at Cowabunga Comics or Eric at Cowabunga Comics, and we'll, kind of share with you what we're doing, how we've got everything laid out. If you want to call, we can set up a time to discuss kind of what you're doing. Certain groups, depending on where you're ordering from now, if you're doing mail order, have different policies on how their books are sent and how they kind of wrap things up. So we can kind of talk a little bit about what I'm aware of. I don't know all of it because obviously I don't order from them, but certainly can tell you what I'm aware of, and we can kind of work to get you rolled in if that's what you're interested in doing. But, a big thing for us with this new location, it's right now I don't have a place to do the mail order stuff, so it's literally on the tables in the store. But in this new location, I will actually have a full room with multiple tables where I can handle just the mail order stuff. So that's going to be pretty exciting for me. So I want to make sure I can keep the tables full of good books for folks.
Yes, definitely. We appreciate that, and we thank you for guesting on this episode. What did I say it was? Did I say 449? Does that sound right? Yeah, I think it's 449. So next week, if Kyle does return, it'll be 450. And man, we've been doing this a long time. And so for Eric and myself, thanks for listening, and see ya.